continuing the steady decline in new cases here at Auburn. In addition, the center has also reported that out of 1,048 on-campus administered tests, only 11 came back with a positive result. That is a 1% positivity rate, a large and significant decrease from the previous week of 5.5%. You can stay updated on Auburn's COVID situation by visiting the Auburn COVID Resource Center website.
A beloved Auburn tradition, Hay Day is scheduled to take place on Wednesday, October 13th. This annual tradition dates all the way back to World War II, when Auburn University's student body and members of the Student Government Organization pushed for a day that would unite the Auburn family and promote a friendly atmosphere. Hay Day is celebrated each year by handing out name tags and encouraging members of the Auburn family to greet one another with Auburn spirit to bring us all closer together.
Get started, get accepted, get ahead. That's the slogan for the first ever Auburn University dual enrollment program. This program, which was reimaged in 2018, now undertakes the mission to provide access and affordability for high school students by expanding outside Alabama and into Georgia. The program offers dual enrollment opportunities for students as young as 10th grade to complete up to 24 hours of Auburn credit before graduating high school. Students with an unweighted GPA of 3.0 or higher are eligible to enroll in Auburn's program and receive online coursework from the university. The program has displayed considerable success with nearly 160 schools in Alabama and will continue to expand into Fulton County in Georgia starting fall 2022.
The Auburn University Alumni Association has recently announced new members to its board of directors. These 4 new members include Frederick D. Daniel from Huntsville, Alabama, Charmaine Dennis from Franklin, Tennessee, C. Henry Jester from Blakely, Georgia, and Ronald D. Dyson Jr. from Houston, Texas. The Auburn Alumni Association is a member-based nonprofit organization funded entirely by individual donations, membership contributions, and company sponsorships. Their main mission is to enhance the engagement of all Auburn alumni and friends.
This weekend, Auburn's home football game against number 2 ranked Georgia attracted a couple nationally recognizable brands to the tailgating fun. Eagle Eye's Blake Phillips has more.
This weekend, Auburn's home football game brought a sea of tailgating tents to campus as fans flocked to Jordan-Hare to celebrate Auburn football. This home game brought the typical fan and local business tailgates, but the magnitude of the match against Georgia even attracted nationally recognizable brands, including Amazon's Prime Video.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. I'm working with the Amazon Prime tent today. We're here just trying to tell everybody about the awesome shows that are on Amazon Prime, how college kids, they can come in, they can get their membership for half off.
Though the tents have been taken down, Auburn fans can rest assured that tailgates will be back for the next home football game, and football games will continue to attract specialty tailgates like Amazon's. This has been Blake Phillips, Eagle Eye TV.
When we return from this short break, 2 Auburn professors take to social media to help complete their Bloody Sunday project. Auburn Public Libraries is hosting English classes, and Keep Opelika Beautiful is hosting a recycle and shred event. You're watching Eagle Eye News at 6.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye News at 6. Auburn University professors Richard Burt and Keith Hebert are reaching out to the Selma community, along with social media, in an effort to progress their Bloody Sunday Passion Project. Bloody Sunday, which occurred on Sunday, March 7, 1965, in Selma, Alabama, was an event that served as a catalyst for America to rally behind the civil rights movement. It was on this day that a group of around 600 marchers, including John Lewis and Hosea Williams, was confronted by Alabama state troopers wielding tear gas and metal batons during their March for Equality. Burt and Hebert have created Facebook pages and received the support of Selma City Council and Selma High School in an attempt to identify those present on Bloody Sunday. They are hoping that through the help of the community and social media, they will be able to identify the brave men and women who participated in the march on that day.
Beginning October 2nd through November 30th, Auburn Public Libraries will be hosting a 5-part community English conversation class presented by Auburn University. Classes will take place on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. and are open to both native and non-native speakers to offer participants the ability to cultivate international relationships and improve language skills in a fun and laid-back environment. For more information, contact the Auburn Public Library at library events at auburnalabama.org. In addition, you can register for classes at aub.ie/esl-course.com.
Auburn University's Harbert College of Business recently conducted a study that shined a surprising light on Alabama's iron and steel industry. The study reported that the industry, still a big economic influencer on Alabama, has transformed itself into a greener, cleaner, high-tech producer. The report's findings included an industry-wide switch to enhanced use in recycled materials, as well as new engineering and production that cuts down on carbon dioxide production. The study continuously highlights the prevalence of the steel and iron industry within Alabama in both its past and present. The study's purpose was to explore more about an industry that continues to be a major provider to America's infrastructure.
Keep Opelika Beautiful is hosting a free recycle and shred day on Saturday, October 23rd from 8 to 11 a.m. The event is open to Lee County residents and will be located at the 8th Avenue Recycle Center. All shredding will be done on site with a 10-box limit. Paper clips and staples will not need to be removed for shredding, yet papers must be taken out of binders prior to their shredding. Due to COVID-19 restrictions, attendees will be asked to remain in their vehicles while volunteers unload their items. For more information, contact Keep Opelika Beautiful at 334-749-4970.
On September 22nd, Auburn University Student Affairs hosted a town hall to discuss the recent outrage following 3 reports of sexual misconduct from the university. Eagle Eye's Sydney Babb has more on the story.
I'm Sydney Babb reporting outside the SGA town hall meeting that is being held in light of recent events where students protested when they found out that 3 sexual assaults had been reported on campus in the past 2.5 weeks.
This town hall was meant to reassure students of their safety on campus and to answer any questions that might need to be addressed. To begin with, Susan McAllister, the Director of Campus Safety and Compliance, explained to students that if they aren't sure who the perpetrator is or if they don't have enough information, then that is when they decide to send out an email to students to let them know there's an ongoing threat.
We made an assessment and determined that we should send something out to the campus about those.
Following this, Catherine Weathers, Senior Deputy and Timeline Coordinator at Auburn, went on to explain that they currently have 2 ongoing investigations, and with these investigations, Title IX allows the victim to decide what happens after the incident has occurred. They do want to assure students that all resolutions will hold the perpetrator accountable.
When those reports come into our office, we 100% of the time reach out to the victim if they're identified in the report. Since August of 2020, so starting back in fall of 2020 through today, we have received 64 reports of sexual assaults. Now, out of those 64, 27 of them had no named perpetrator. So we don't know who the person is. And 18, in addition to out of those 64, 18, although we had the name of the perpetrator, they weren't affiliated with the university. They're not a student and they weren't an employee. So total, out of the 64, we had 19 individuals identified who were affiliated with the university and who were accused to have sexually assaulted somebody else on the university.
I'm Sydney Babb reporting for Eagle Eye News.
When we come back, we'll take a look at some national news, including the pending FDA approval for the Pfizer vaccine in children and what the Biden administration has to say about the September jobs report. You're watching Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
We return now to Eagle Eye News at 6. On Wednesday, October 6th, a school shooting suspect was taken into custody after wounding 4 people at an Arlington, Texas high school.
And we heard glass breaking, and he continued to shoot. And I called my mom, and I told her I love her.
School shooting suspect 18-year-old Timothy Simpkins is in police custody, facing 3 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon after opening fire at the Timberview High School in Arlington, Texas, and going on the run for a short while before turning himself in Wednesday afternoon.
He did report to an attorney, was talking to our homicide detectives, and he drove him into our police station. We took him into custody.
Police say they believe the gun used in the shooting has been recovered and has been turned over to federal agents for analysis.
It was a handgun, .45 caliber weapon.
According to authorities, preliminary information shows that a fight broke out between students in a classroom, and that's when the shooting erupted.
And do you have any information that you can confirm that there were students who had, quote, warned of this escalation between these two individuals and that a weapon was brought to this school?
I do not have that information at this particular point in time, but I can assure you that we're doing a thorough, intensive investigation as it relates to what transpired.
Now, security has been beefed up at all Arlington area schools following the shooting and social media threats.
I've got a call to action for parents. Take a look at your kids' social media. If they're putting out threats on their schools, they're going to be arrested.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
In the upcoming weeks, the FDA will be coming to a decision on whether the Pfizer COVID vaccine will be eligible to receive emergency use authorization. We also await CDC recommendation for the vaccine to be given to children from ages 5 to 11. Here are 5 things you need to know as the FDA considers the Pfizer vaccine for 5 to 11-year-olds.
You're all done.
Well, not quite, but a COVID-19 vaccine for kids 5 to 11 is in the hands of the FDA right now. Pfizer has applied for emergency use authorization for its vaccine for kids in that age group. So what are the top 5 things parents need to know? Number 1, let's talk timing. An FDA panel is scheduled to meet October 26th to talk about the data. With Pfizer's vaccine for adults, it took a little more than 3 weeks from EUA application to FDA authorization, CDC recommendation, and finally shots in arms. The same steps that need to happen here, so applying that timeline, approval could come at the end of October. Number 2, there's a dosage difference. Kids in this age group would likely get 1/3 of the dose adults and teens get, but indications are it'll protect kids just as well, even if they're big for their age. Number 3, experts say the side effects are similar to what happens to adults, a sore arm, tiredness, or headaches. Number 4, the White House says it's ready to roll.
We have the supply. We're working with states to set up convenient locations, including pediatricians' offices and community sites,
along with pharmacies and maybe even some schools. Speaking of schools, number 5, could more states require COVID-19 vaccines for students? The U.S. Surgeon General thinks so.
I think part of the reason you're going to see more states likely move in that direction post-authorization is because we all want our kids to go back to school, to be able to stay in school, and to be safe.
I'm Britt Conway, reporting.
Many economists had high hopes for the September jobs report as children returned to school and millions saw unemployment benefits drop. Yet, for the second straight month, U.S. employers added far fewer jobs than anticipated.
President Joe Biden addressing a disappointing September jobs report.
Our recovery is moving forward, even in the face of a COVID pandemic.
The Labor Department said U.S. employers added just 194,000 jobs last month.
The economy is still very much dramatically being affected by the pandemic in different ways.
Public education jobs, local and state, fell during the back-to-school month. The leisure and hospitality industry added just 74,000 jobs, still struggling to recoup more than 1 million pandemic-forced losses.
People are less willing, I think, to work in jobs requiring close public contact.
The unemployment rate fell to 4.8%. Despite millions of job openings, the labor participation rate barely budged. Neil Richardson, chief economist at ADP, says that is a key number to watch.
Getting people back into the labor market, whatever the bottlenecks or reasons are, is going to be really important for a full recovery, not just in the unemployment rate, but an inclusive recovery that really reaches every vulnerable group.
Mark Hamrick, Washington Bureau Chief for Bankrate, says October may give a more accurate recovery snapshot.
We'll get well past the period when the federal pandemic unemployment benefits were expiring, and there may be some transitions in people's lives there.
Holiday seasonal hiring will also kick into high gear. The U.S. is still down 5 million jobs since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
When we return, we'll take a look at what National Day it is, the Pet of the Week, and the return of the Opelika Songwriters Festival. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye News at 6. From helping the Pilgrims survive a harsh winter to speaking in a code that helped the Allies win World War II, today is a day to honor the contributions of Native Americans. National Indigenous Peoples Day falls on the same day as Columbus Day, as a way to honor the people already living in the country when Christopher Columbus landed in 1492. You can see the influence of Native Americans all across the U.S. today. In fact, many rivers, towns, and landmarks still bear names originally given by native tribes. Celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day by honoring all of their contributions to the traditions and culture of the United States.
The second annual Opelika Songwriters Festival is coming to historic downtown Opelika. From October 15th through the 17th, Opelika will host over 40 singer-songwriters for its 2021 festival. Music will begin starting Friday at 5 p.m. and lasting all weekend long. In addition, a brunch will be hosted on Sunday at 10:30 a.m. for those with a VIP ticket. Get your tickets today and come see these talented artists transform multiple venues into listening rooms. Tickets can be purchased at opelikasongwritersfestival.com.
Now, she's not the type to go around stealing Santa Claus, but she is quite the charming little kitty. Meet our new pet of the week from Lee County Humane Society, Oogie Boogie. This gorgeous girl is all about spooky season and is ready to find someone who will stay up all night and watch Tim Burton movies with her. She loves being by your side while you bake treats and wouldn't mind lending a paw to help you with the pumpkin carving you'll do this year. Oogie Boogie is 2 years old, spayed, vaccinated, and microchipped. She's FIV negative and her adoption fee is $100. Apply online for her today. We're out of time, but for more Auburn news, head over to our website, eagleeyeauburn.com, and check out our social media pages. I'm Hee-Sun Yoon.
And I'm Jack Greenwald. Thank you for watching, and War Eagle.